Shall we begin? Let's begin now.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the D1 DLC podcast. My name is Brad, Ado, Mully, Ben.
How's it going?
Live studio audience, they're not even paying attention now.
I know, right? Just ignoring us. Just
We set up this gag before the show, and they were going to be like all clapping and stuff.
Yeah.
And now they're just talking amongst themselves.
It's all good. It's all good.
Anyway.
You can edit it in later.
Yeah. Put a bit of yeah, woo. Where are we, Ben?
We are at Harry's on Grenfell. harrysongrenfell.com.au.
Exactly. Thank you very much for them for having us up. It is our fortnightly show. We are just going to sit around and talk a bit of shit. So, Mr. Mullins.
Should I not take a swig?
No, please get it in you. Get it in you. That's what we're here for. Is subbing in tonight for Jake, who's away again. Mully's a very good friend of the show. You were on the show way back when.
Have I only been on the once?
Yeah, I reckon you have.
With
Was
Shell.
It? Yeah, it was you and Shell came on and we did the Pixels Rising show.
Yes.
Before you abandoned Pixels Rising to its death.
Wow, that's a very dramatic way of putting it, but somewhat accurate.
But also true.
Yeah.
So yeah, we know. So tell everyone a little bit about what Pixels Rising was.
Yeah, God, that's the thing.
Surely you still know the spiel, don't you?
Adelaide's
on-air radio show.
I don't know if I can. I haven't said it for so long. So I was with Radio Adelaide, a community radio station, just in the CBD, actually, not too far away from here, just a couple blocks. And I did a show on there for a year called Pixels Rising. It was Radio Adelaide's on-air video game program on every Wednesday night, originally from 11:30 p.m. to 1 a.m.
Yeah,
then we
popular time slot.
Yeah.
Very.
Yeah.
And then we switched over to 7 p.m. to 9 p.m.
Much worse.
Yeah,
Much
and
worse.
we were very similar ideology to you guys. We want to really talk about like Australian games, about South Australian games and developers, and promote them because there's so many good ones. There's so many great guys. There's one in the audience tonight, actually. Yeah,
There is. So let's talk very quickly about that. So Carmine Fantarella of Gardens of Eden, who is working on Icebox.
Yes.
Now,
One of our favourite games, yeah?
absolutely. So we talked about it yonks ago after we played it. We got to play it, then we played it at AVCon last year, then we played it at AVCon this year.
I think it was
You
at
went down for
University.
AVCon this year, were you, Mully?
I wasn't, but I remember last year, just before AVCon, I remember you guys telling me about how much you loved Icebox, and I was like, all right. Well, I'll just see when I play at AVCon. I was like, man, this is good. This is really, really good. It's
And
really
you
fun,
played it
really
this year,
addictive.
Ado?
Yep.
How far has it
It's
come?
come a long
You
way.
would not even recognise it, Mully.
I've seen screenshots, and I'm just like,
It looks schmick now. Like, it's got the hanging timers in the background and stuff. Really excited. So, Carmine's actually going to be... We're doing a special next week, me, Jake, and Carmine. We're going to nick down next week and have a bit of a chat.
Nice.
Because there's some big news dropping this week about Icebox.
wow.
So, which we can't talk about, but we are excited.
So we're not talking about the West Coast Eagles Icebox, are we? With the old Ben Cousins?
Why would you... This is why you get edited out so much.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, yeah. It's also 10 years old, man. Come on. It still hurts.
Still raw.
Still
great.
It's still raw. I can't talk about it.
So Ben, how to get that in there for you? A bit of football talk, just to ruin your day.
So after the end of Pixels Rising, you left because you went did a bit of freelance work in the PR space.
Yes. So not too long after I finished my degree at the University of Adelaide, I had the opportunity to go to Sydney and do some contract freelance work for a PR games and tech agency in Sydney and Melbourne. So I was there for 4 months working. I've been back for a month chilling, playing lots of games, catching up on a lot of games I've been meaning to get to. So I'm looking forward to chatting about that. But I'm going to be in Melbourne again for 5 weeks after this week for PAX to be working that as well. So
You're going to PAX, Benny?
Shit, yeah, I'm going.
Yeah, you're going to PAX?
Yep.
Yep.
So you're the only one that's not going to PAX. I still can't believe
Jake's
that.
not going either.
No, Jake's not going. So, well, he might have a handful.
Is
to be
Jordo
fair.
going?
Jordo, no. Jordo doesn't do trips like that, do you, Jordo? I'm hoping one day, though, we might do a proper... Although I think I'm still recovering from last PAX, to be fair. That was...
next year.
My
Book
bank
it
is
in,
definitely.
guys. We're
Yeah,
going to
okay.
do day one DLC. road trip.
Oh,
no. And I'm out.
Overpacked.
I look forward
okay.
to the vlogs of that.
Yeah. Let's live stream that shit. That'd be amazing. So there's and I know you did lots of interesting stuff while you were working in that PR space, but I don't want to monopolise the whole show with it. But you didn't get AvCon this year because you were at the Overwatch World Championships.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so it was.
So talk us a little bit about, because that ended pretty well. If you're an Aussie, you were pretty happy with what happened.
That was pretty fantastic. So one of the clients I was working with were Blizzard Entertainment, which was very, very cool. And very hard. And we were working on a group stage as part of the Overwatch World Cup for 2017, which was in Sydney. And so they had 2 groups play there. One of those groups was Australia, funnily enough, who played in a group against Italy and Sweden, and from memory, I think, was it Vietnam? I can't quite remember. It was another team.
It was all the teams that lost.
Yeah, it was all the teams that lost. And Australia did really well. It was made up of... There's a very interesting and intricate way how teams are chosen. We won't get into it. You can find about online reading on the Blizzard's website, but the team representing Australia was Blank Esports, an Overwatch esports team, the best one in Australia, and they just knocked it out of the park. They smashed every team. They had a really good showing against Sweden, who are, I think, ranked this year 5th in the world.
Wow. Yeah.
And we're ranked around about 12th or 13th, so we had a great showing against them. Lost, but it was very close. And then we beat Japan 3-2 in the playoff final to go through to the finals. The top 8 teams at the World Cup. At BlizzCon later this year, early November. So we were running the PR for Blizzard at that event, and it was a lot of fun. Like, I haven't been to too many esports events, and I haven't really gelled into it that much myself before. Like, I can understand the enjoyment behind it because I love normal sports. Like, I love and I can get around some esports, but it's not really quite there for me. But being at that event and being able to get behind not just a team made up of people from around the world who were under one banner, but Australia as a whole, it brought that emotional ties to it.
Yeah, that was what was good about it, was seeing... I mean, if there's... I never watch soccer whatsoever. It's not my bag, but
when the World Cup comes around next year, you'll be there.
Yeah, exactly right. So it's one of those things. So... Excellent. Yeah, pretty good. I would have enjoyed to be there.
Well, I'm sad that I missed out on AvCon 2017 because it sounded like a blast as it always is.
It was pretty good.
It's honestly one of my favorite conventions. Like, it's just, it's so wholesome.
Yeah.
It's very wholesome.
Indie Games Room this year too was, like, it was huge. It was bigger than it's ever been. It was really clean and nice.
Yeah, when I was here, before I went for my contract, I was actually helping out Chris and Brad a bit with that as well, with a little bit of organisation behind that, and I'm sure they killed it at the actual event.
Speaking of Chris, another Adelaide developer, Expand, indie game made in Adelaide, coming to PlayStation on October 3rd.
Very soon.
It is fantastic. You should check it out. It's more of an experience than a game, I guess. Some platforming elements. It's about 2 hours to finish. It's fantastic. And
the composer is Chris Larkin, who
also worked on
Hollow Knight. He did the soundtrack for that. Another Adelaide developed game.
Yeah. So, mate, connections are all there. So, let's get out of Adelaide for a bit. What else has been happening, gentlemen? What have we been playing, Benny?
What have I been playing?
Come on, give us something. Give us something to talk about. Entertain us.
Probably the biggest thing that I've been playing this last fortnight is actually a mobile app.
Really?
Okay. So, what about you, Ada? What are you? No, sorry.
Whoa.
I'm a massive fan of board games, and so this is basically a port of a board game to iPad and Android, all that sort of stuff that come out pretty much at the beginning of the fortnight, I think. So I've been doing not much else than smashing through that. So the game,
what's it called? What is it?
The game is called Through the Ages.
Okay.
The actual board game itself is ranked number 2 or 3 on BoardGameGeek.com.
Wow. Is that a sales or
that's
a ranking?
Community voting?
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
It's a really good port of the game. You can play like pass and play with the iPad.
Mm-hmm.
You can play online, but I haven't really had much success with that because a lot of board gaming ports for computer and that, you sit in the lobby and you literally wait until
Yeah.
someone joins
Yeah.
you, and there just isn't enough players
Yeah.
to really get that working.
And like the best part of board games is playing it with people in the room with you and having shenanigans.
Yeah.
And,
yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
And so I like this because I can sit in bed while my partner's doing watching YouTube videos on her iPad, or we can play a game together or something. It's kind of cool. I have got a couple of friends that have also bought the app, and I own the board game, but we've only managed to get it to the table once because it takes about 4 or 5 hours to play.
Yeah.
Yep.
How long does it take to play the...
Yeah, well, the app in a single player, so one human player and 3 opponents, can take 30 to 45 minutes.
Yeah, okay.
So it's pretty good. I'm very happy with being able to play a game that I really enjoy against computer players in a far quicker time frame.
And what's the difficulty like against AI? Like, is it quite competitive, or do you find it like
So
you
the
see
AI
patterns?
has, I think, easy, medium, and hard. I probably win about 2/3 the time with them on easy, and haven't really turned them up to hard or medium or hard yet. There's a whole bunch of challenges that are in the game that I'm going through at the moment. That the idea is that doing the challenges, you find out more about how to play the game differently, and I guess that will make you a better player. So I'm hoping that doing some of those challenges will make me better, and I'll be able to go and play against some of the medium and hard AIs.
Cool.
I'd say
really enjoying it.
I wouldn't play this game against you in person now that you've had it's
Yeah,
like
no.
you're doing boot camp
Yeah.
for it or something.
Well, I can only recommend going and getting the app yourself and having a bit of practice.
Otherwise, you'll
but-
get schooled. You should check out the Warlock of Firetop Mountain. Plays very much like a board game.
Yep.
Like a D&D dungeon crawler. I don't know if you remember Hero's Quest back in the
Yeah,
day. Yeah. So it plays very, very much like that.
Yep.
And you don't even need to spend money on it because it's in the D1 account. So
Nice.
yeah, because we did a bit of a thing on it. We recommended it because we said, by we, I mean me, it's very, very good. It's really good.
Yep.
It's absolutely worth checking out. So
I'll have a
Warlock
look.
of Firetop Mountain. You should check it out.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah. Ado?
I have played
You
nothing.
filthy console peasants.
I feel like we've got plenty. Ben and I have got plenty to talk about. If you've got nothing,
I have
Oh,
played Destiny, and
he's
that's
got
it.
one thing to play.
He's
Yep.
got one thing.
Mate.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got a massive list of stuff.
it's quite a big list actually. Yeah.
You've got Destiny.
Destiny, and that's it. Yeah.
When
I
is
thought you
Destiny
were-
coming to PC?
End of October.
It was two.
Yeah.
No, it was 2 days ago. It came out on 24th of October to PC, so it's out now on PC.
What?
No, October.
Do you know
Next
it's
month.
September right now?
Yeah.
Where's October?
October
it's-
comes after September.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh my good lord.
Yeah.
No,
so
there's
next-
no chance I'm editing
No.
that out, Mully.
Nope.
So if it's coming out on the 24th of October, I probably won't get it because a couple of days after the 24th of October
It's
is
packed.
Wolfenstein.
And, yeah.
2.
Mario.
Mario.
There we go.
Mario.
Assassin's Creed.
You know what the worst part about Mario
Well.
is? And I'm sorry if I'm derailing the conversation a little here, but
Which
Mario-
never happens
No,
on the show.
not at all.
That's not-
Mario launches on the Friday of PAX.
Yeah.
I'm going to be lining up for, the opening ceremony of PAX, whilst gaming stores are opening their doors and
Go to
giving out.
midnight. Go to midnight launch, mate. Come
Surely there will be.
on. Yep.
To my
I
knowledge,
saw,
there aren't any.
Well, the thing is, that would be crazy because they could do Mario, Assassin's Creed, and Wolfenstein.
Yeah.
Is that all on the same day?
Yeah, it's all
Well,
on the same day.
really
Wow.
hoping someone breaks the.
I'm not gonna
street
get
release
any one
on
of
it
those
and I can
games.
go and pick them up.
It'll be Target. It's always Target.
Yeah, well.
No, there is. I did see somewhere today a list of EB games that are going to be doing midnight.
Yeah, surely.
But the problem is you don't want to pay EB prices, do you? So
You can always price match.
you can always, there you
Always
go.
price match.
So then while
Or
you're
you could
in
go to a
line,
store that will sell it to you for a reasonable price within that gadget. So,
Well, there's that.
but that way you can play it while you're in line.
no, trust me. That is my plan for the weekend.
Yeah.
Is to play Mario whilst lining up for stuff.
What if, because Wolfenstein's coming to
Switch, yes.
Is that same release date?
No, next
No.
year. Next year.
Ah,
Yeah,
okay.
Unfortunately, but that's still really cool though.
I have
And
a gaming
Doom
laptop.
is coming too.
Yeah, I don't
and,
know.
an
So-
extension cable.
But we're going to cost $20 more. On the
Oh,
Switch.
that's an important question.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll have to do some
It's
research.
okay. Nothing broke.
You hope.
Gentlemen, talk amongst yourselves
Yeah.
for one moment. All right.
Ben, what else have you been playing? We'll get to this.
Okay.
We'll get to this.
So, what else have we been playing? Mario and Rabbids.
Still going strong?
Yeah, I'm enjoying playing it. I don't play it as much as I would like because
Everything's fine. Everything's fine.
It's
fine. High five, boys. Thank you.
I don't play it as much as I'd like because I don't enjoy it so much on the handheld Switch.
Yep. Better on the TV?
I'm really enjoying it playing on the TV though.
Yep.
So
Do you have one of the Nintendo controllers? Or do you just
Pro
use
controller?
the Pro controls, or do you just use the Joy-Cons in
the Joy-Cons in the little handheld thing?
I have a Switch myself, and like that feels fine. But getting the Pro controller, I got one a couple months ago. The Pro controller is like, not only is it like a better option, it's honestly one of the best controllers for console I've ever used. Like,
Yeah,
it's
that's-
really
Wow.
nice. It's really comfortable. Like Nintendo, like they're just copying other people who have worked on this for a while, and they're not doing a GameCube controller anymore. They're just doing a normal
Pretty good call.
Yeah.
controller, and they've done it quite well. Like,
Look, to be
Best
fair,
controller,
I'd like to.
it's not the
Can
best.
Can
it's
it beat
not,
the N64
it's-
controller?
It's not the
That was
best.
so good,
It's
man.
one of
That
the
was
best.
back in the day. That was,
yeah.
it was a whole trick to holding it right.
Oh, God, it's a stupid controller.
You know what? As much as it's fair to have a crack at Nintendo for copying for that, to be fair, the Joy-Cons are relatively unique and work surprisingly well.
Oh yeah, no, they are
So-
great. The
Yeah.
console, I will
Yeah.
talk great things
Yeah.
about the Switch. Like I was so dubious
Yeah,
going into
yep.
it, and it wasn't until launch and I saw the review scores come out for Zelda, and I was like,
Yep.
no way can this game be this friggin' good. And I picked it up at launch, and
and it was.
I actually haven't played that much of Zelda, but I
Because
played.
it's not that good. Because it's
I enjoy it.
Brad,
but
you're wrong, Paul.
Brad, did you
I've just been
drop-
playing other
Brad,
things
did
on
you
the
drop
Switch.
something else
no,
on
it's
the floor
good,
there?
mate.
Do you wanna
Everything's under
go
control. Everything's
away?
under control. I don't know if you all heard too. Last week we actually did say this is a Breath of the Wild free podcast. So
Oh, really?
Let's move on.
How's that, Brad?
Because it's my rules and I do the editing. So
That's pretty.
we can
fair,
talk
yeah,
about it,
that's
but it
pretty
won't go
conclusive,
live.
Yeah,
Yeah, fair enough.
No, I am struggling with the Switch a little bit. So Zelda, I didn't particularly like Zelda, but I've never particularly liked the Zelda games. So I can't comment on the quality of how good it is or not because I haven't played enough, and I'm not going to buy into that conversation. But I didn't
That's a
particularly
first.
enjoy it. Didn't particularly enjoy it. Rabbids, I thought I would enjoy a lot more.
Yep.
Played a little bit of it. The problem with Rabbids is the reason I would like Rabbids. It's a lot like XCOM. Yeah, it's a lot like XCOM if you like cute, funny, very simple XCOM. I don't. I like XCOM because of its depth and its the
How far
strategic
through
value.
did
So,
you get though?
like an hour and a half. I'm not.
Did-
And you know what? It's to the point. The thing is, like an hour and a half is enough. If I haven't bought into a game in an hour and a half, I'm going to go and play something else. I played Transistor for 2 minutes, and I'm like, this game is amazing. So that's the environment that we live in.
Fair.
But the other problem, I wonder whether I don't like the mobile gaming. I've never really been a fan. I thought the Switch might turn me around. It didn't. So then everyone's like, okay, well, why don't you dock it? So when you talk about a game like Wolfenstein, well, then why would I dock it when I can buy it on the Xbox or the PC or the PlayStation where it's going to perform better? So that's the problem I'm having with the Switch at the moment. Now, the game that might get me to buy into the Switch will not be the mobile platform for it. It will be playing it, and it will be Super Mario. Like, that's... Odyssey's the one, because I can't get that anywhere else.
Yep.
Oh, dude, like I'm so.
And I'm not going to
Well, I
sit
don't
there
know.
playing
The
it on
way
my thing.
the,
I'm
How's it
so
going?
pumped.
They had Breath of the Wild working on PC within 24 hours.
did they really?
Yeah. It wasn't great. It's apparently working really well now.
wasn't great on Switch either, but... No, I don't mean that. I don't. Please don't.
He does.
He does, unfortunately. We try and... Yeah.
Well, it's
Who
not.
invites this guy, really?
But and it's like that's what I thought when I saw Wolfenstein and Doom were coming to the Switch. So I can understand why people are excited about it, absolutely. But as someone who has every console and a PC, I'm going to buy it on something that's going to make it those games in particular
Yeah.
perform at a higher level.
But you're not buying it to perform at a high level. You're buying it to be able to play where you want, how
See,
you want.
But
yeah,
how
and
often
this
do
is
you-
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I don't enjoy that mobile thing. So
Well,
that's
then-
why.
I
Then,
know.
I
in
then the
that
console
case-
isn't for you.
That's what I'm saying.
correct,
That's
yeah.
why I
Yep.
think that the Switch is and Rabbids is the game that made me realise that. It made me go, I just don't like doing it here on my lap. I want my headphones on, I want the music the sound turned right up, I want to really get engrossed in the game. So that's why I think unfortunately the Switch is not for me, with the exception of the really big exclusives that I like, which is going to be Super Mario, it's going to be Metroid, it's going to be those really big games. Yeah. I'll probably get Hollow Knight on it because I'm obsessed with that game.
Yeah.
But
that's fair. Yeah.
Have you played Hollow Knight before? I don't think I've heard you mention.
I have played Hollow Knight, so if you haven't heard about Hollow Knight, no, I'm not going to get into that. Hollow Knight's an Australian-based game. If you haven't played it, you should. It's amazing. Can I say Games Radar? I really need to let someone else speak for a bit, but I've got to get this out first while I think about it. Games Radar have started voting for their Game of the Year, and their voting started, and the reason I started looking at it was because Total War Warhammer 2 was on there.
Right.
The game hadn't come out, and you could vote for it for Game of the Year. And I'm like, you know what, this might as well be Metacritic. It's 10 stars or it's 0, and that's just better you go. But they had like top indie games, and Hollow Knight wasn't there, and I'm like, I don't understand how there's any conversation about about indie games in 2017 without Hollow Knight being considered. And then I saw PC Gamer did a thing on the top 25 indie games you could buy right now.
Yeah.
Hollow Knight's number 3. Games Radar, you are a joke.
No,
and I know they watch us.
What was 1 and 2?
I stopped at Hollow Knight.
PC Gamer are good. They have been cornering their indie stuff for a really long time, and now they've just launched a whole indie channel for their website where it's just a complete focus on indie. They've got a whole editor who's Australian, based in Melbourne, who's actually dealing with that and sorting that, and they're taking it very, very seriously and putting a lot of time and effort into it, which is awesome. So again, PC Gamer.
Yeah, no, I am. Yeah, PC Gamer. I think they've done well to make sure that they are PC orientated. They've really done well to hone into that market. It's one of the few sites I really trust to go to, so they're good. Yeah. And I know they watch, so hey, PC Gamer. I don't know if they watch. I don't think they will.
So, do we talk about Destiny now, or like?
Look, I think we should talk about a little bit.
Go.
So tell us what happened to. Like 2 weeks ago, you were like, I'm taking it back to EV.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm getting my money back, and I'm going to get it on PC.
I'm probably going to get a PC.
You are obsessed with it. It's the grind, isn't it? You are addicted to the grind.
Like the grind. Yeah. I mean, I do like a lot of Diablo-style games, so it's good.
Okay, so can I ask, is the grind better than it was in Destiny 1?
I didn't play Destiny 1, so I don't know. So that might be for me why I like it.
Okay, that's
what
that's
grindy games have you played that you can compare it to? WoW?
It's kind of, sort of. It's like a Diablo WoW almost.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, Ben's like,
Ben's just gone, I'm going to go grab this when it comes out. My plan's just changed.
Yeah.
Is that a bit of a hot sweat happening?
The loot drops are actually quite often and decent. Like, they're not terrible.
Yep.
So you're getting the reward, you're feeling like you're getting more powerful.
They've nailed that quite well.
So is it more like a Borderlands 2?
Yeah, actually.
Yeah?
Yep,
okay.
But surely the loot doesn't... It's not as hoary as Borderlands or Diablo.
Nothing is.
Yeah, so So what you are saying is it's between like a Diablo and a WoW for hell of it. So you get it more than you would in WoW, but not as much. Yeah, okay, that makes a bit of sense.
Yeah, they've got the balance quite right.
Okay.
Only thing is that it needs more content. Like, I've been playing it for 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I've done everything.
But that's the
Except
thing.
the raid.
Yeah. Let's stop right there, though. It's not about how many weeks you've been playing. How many hours do you reckon you put into it?
But I put in a lot of hours.
You were
my money's worth.
probably at least a couple dozen hours, which is, you pay your Uncharted.
More than a couple dozen hours.
Yeah, so like
you've got your money's worth.
Yeah,
absolutely.
most people say you've got your money's worth.
That's why I thought I said no, I'm not taking this back. I played enough already.
We had a similar conversation around the Division.
Yeah.
I can remember we hit level cap. That was about 30 hours.
Yep.
I played 100 hours of the Division.
Yep.
And it gets sort of hammered as a failure. I enjoyed that. There are things absolutely could have been better about it.
I thoroughly enjoyed the Division story.
Yep.
And then when we got to the Dark Zone endgame content, I was like,
I'm done. And
But
that's
like,
you already
had
had
your fill.
the game.
You had your
I
fill.
enjoyed the game.
And Division 2 got announced. I would be buying it. Absolutely. For sure. So I think you're right, Mully. It's so easy with these games, this expectation of endless endgame.
Well, when you've got competitors and people who have set the bar as high as, let's say, a certain World of Warcraft,
But even WoW, though, you'd go through expansion, you'd have the same thing. You get to the point, like, I'm done.
Whereas the problem is, though, if you started WoW today, you'd be overwhelmed by your options.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe
I need to
people.
resub.
and-
I'm going to
and-
go sort out Argus.
Look, if you want to resub to something,
Oh god damn it!
Here we go.
You know what? Can I tell you, I was pretty close to resubbing to Eve the other day. And then I bought Civilization 6. And I haven't slept in 4 fucking days.
Mad with you. I can't
Yeah,
be
no,
mad
that's
with you.
fair.
However,
And then
Eve.
I started a game, Benny. I started a game.
Yeah.
And I'm having a great time.
Yep.
Recently crushed Germany. France, you're next.
Yep.
But then I discovered that there's Australian DLC.
Yeah.
Do you not
Yeah.
have the Australian DLC?
No.
Oh,
So
dude.
now I need to rush through this game,
Yeah.
get the Australian
Yeah.
DLC, and then I might play like the diplomatic game. I reckon. I might just be mates with everyone.
Yeah, no, Australia
boring.
is an amazing Civ to play in Civ 6.
I'm pretty excited.
So
Yeah.
much fun.
The other thing is I'm like playing on the medium setting, on like the medium map size.
Yep.
I'm like on Australia, I'm going to be like maybe still the medium setting, but on the huge map size and the one like the game option that takes forever.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to.
Look, my recommendation is when you're playing Civ, keep the number of Civs it recommends for the map size. Otherwise, you just get weird things where it'll put everyone in the one spot, and then there'll be literally nothing over
Yeah.
in that side of the.
I'm pretty
Nice.
keen to do the one where people start where they or like do the Earth one,
Yep.
where everyone starts in their historically accurate place, and then like go, where's someone that started all by themselves, and just be them. Australia,
Yeah.
for example, that would be good. So yeah, I haven't been sleeping, haven't played anything. I literally no bullshit. I bought it. And then I played it for 9.5 hours straight.
Jeez.
Like the day I bought it, I had 9.5 hours game time on Steam.
I can't
But why,
even play
why
games
only
for that long.
9.5 hours?
I
don't-
bought it in the afternoon.
Oh, okay.
I wish I could play games for that long, but I just get fatigued now, bro.
And I do, but Civ
know,
is
Mully.
something. Civ, WoW, and Eve, they're the three.
Yep.
Maybe Total War as well.
Yeah, Total War's a hell of a time sink.
Yeah.
Have you got Total War 2?
No, I haven't. I had just saw the reviews though, and I'm like, well, have you
Is
seen
it
the reviews?
no?
I've seen
I've
good
avoided them.
reviews.
Yeah, it's all 9s plus.
Yeah.
Improves in every way.
And I
God
really
damn
liked,
it.
and I really liked the first one. Like I had some
And
issues here and
if
there.
you buy one, if you've got one and you buy two,
You get
there's
more.
an extra map. So they actually give you a campaign that combines. Because number 2 has a different continent basically.
Yeah.
If you've got both of them, you get a campaign that combines both of them.
And that's what I want. That's
Okay.
what I really want. That's my main issue with the first one was that this has got
Why?
all the building blocks
I know,
for
right?
what I want, but it doesn't have all the extra races that made Warhammer for me really special, like Lizardman.
I'm all
and
about them
Ratman.
elves and them lizard men.
Oh,
man.
and
Are we,
like-
do we have lizard men in this one?
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Or is that gonna
yeah,
be-
they were announced.
Yeah.
I don't know if
And
they
then
have them.
high elves were my
Yeah,
race
yeah.
when I actually used to play
But yeah,
Warhammer
there was some
properly.
pretty lists
Like,
that had
Yeah.
When I
dragons.
played tabletop, it was always Skaven.
Skaven,
So are
yes,
they-
I remember.
Are they in?
Yes,
I'm pretty
Skaven
sure
are in.
that- Yeah.
Yeah.
And see,
Yeah.
those are the races there. It's like, in the first one, you got your dwarves, you got your orcs.
They're very
It's
traditional
very
fantasy,
traditional,
aren't
and
they?
they're
Yeah.
still really good. Like I
The
honestly
orcs
think
are really good. The mechanic. That's what I really
I
enjoyed
love
about the first one.
vampires. Yeah.
Yep. But the mechanics were I was so impressed by how different all the mechanics were for each
Yeah.
of the races.
Yep.
It was
Absolutely.
Really good.
and that's the thing. I don't know if I've ever said this on the podcast before, so I want to say it now properly. Is that I think Warhammer and 40k is like the best universes made of anything.
Yeah.
Like they're just so unbelievably fleshed out. Like there's so many books. Like I spent a lot of my childhood just reading books about the high elves.
Yeah.
Because it was just so interesting, let alone actually playing the damn game that the books were written for. Like, it's just so in-depth. There's just so much going on between all the different races. It's so intricate. Like, it's just awesome. So even though the first one just had those more traditional races, they were still great and had a lot of depth to them. And now having 2 and then, like, that expansion extra map to bring it all together, I'm just like... It's dangerous, Brad.
So,
I could feel a visit to GamesWorkshop.com coming up in my near future.
well, I was speaking of books... and maybe I should bring this up when Jake's here, but I started reading the Witcher books.
Really?
Yeah.
You should save that for Jake. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. I feel like that's a conversation.
Has he read them?
I don't know if he's
I
read
don't know
them,
if he
but
has. He's read a few of
loves,
them.
He's been trying to get them. I don't know
He
if he's got
loves
them or
Witcher so
Yeah.
much.
The graphic novels is all over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, how much is he into Witcher? Because I've got a friend who has just started his 6th playthrough of Witcher 3.
Yeah, I
think it's quite
would
that
not.
bad.
I wouldn't be surprised if Jake's only had the one,
Yeah.
but he's done
He just loves it.
everything.
Yeah, everything.
To be fair, we on Sunday mornings we do a live show on Twitch and Facebook, and one of the questions, and it's just a Q&A show, and the question was if you were going to get a gaming tattoo, what would you get? and like for Jake it was ludicrous. Like he didn't even have to think about it. It's
Yeah.
just like it would be Witcher.
Yeah.
The first one, and the second one would be The Witcher, and he loves that shit so
Yeah.
much. Like, it's incredible to see someone love that franchise.
It's funny you should say that because my first 3 tattoos that I've planned are all gaming tattoos.
What are they? Go.
So Mario jumping the piranha plant
Yep.
on my leg.
Yep.
Nice.
Portal 2
Yeah, nice.
Yes.
on each shoulder.
Yep.
I want the logo with the man jumping through the portal
Yep.
on each
That's
shoulder.
Can I say, me and Beck have talked about getting that, where one of us gets the blue portal and one gets the orange.
Nice.
Like that would be, and like particularly if we could do it like on our cars.
Yeah.
So if we were walking together
Yeah.
somewhere, people would just be able to see that.
That's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
No, that's good. And for me, it's the Diablo 3 logo. Just the
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
I have put so many hours into that game, but yeah.
Okay, because I want to answer this again now because it's such a great topic.
Yeah, I was actually about to ask, like, can you just go through and say what your answers were?
Do you have one yet, or you're not? Yeah.
Dunno.
So mine is long and lengthy. There's heaps of stuff I would like to do. No, there is.
I think that's
and
the
I know
same
as
for
soon
anything
as-
to do with you, Brad.
As soon as I start,
No, not everything.
as soon as I get the first tattoo,
Yep.
it will be my whole body will be covered in no time. But
Floodgates.
probably, so the first one I will probably get will probably be the Horde symbol on the back of my calf.
Yeah.
A nice, a really masculine, nasty, dirty type version of it too. Like I can see it in my head. But the one that I really want to get is I want to get this whole arm as a sleeve, and for it to be all spaceships. So it would be like an X-wing being chased by a Rifter from Eve,
Yep.
which is being chased by Serenity, which is being chased by the Enterprise, Star Destroyer,
Yeah.
and so on. You know, like all these different franchises, all
Yep.
my whole arm. So it looks like one incredible space battle going on with all these.
That would be really,
That's
really cool.
that's
Yeah.
what I'd really like to get.
Yeah.
That's my big one. Ado, you've had time to think.
I still don't know. It's just for the probably something from World War. I reckon the
Yep.
something hunt related because that was
Yeah.
my one character was my hunter.
Yeah,
But I don't know what.
I could do a shaman. Shaman would work. Yeah, a totem or something.
Totally good. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Mullins, you're up.
Like, there's a lot of games to
There is,
to
there's so
think of.
much,
There's so
isn't
many,
there?
but I just immediately go to like my favorite, like my top 5 games like all time, and up there is like Final Fantasy Tactics. That's
Yep.
still the only Final Fantasy game that I've ever played properly, and I played over like 200 hours of it, and the art for it is just like gorgeous, like really, really nice. Concept art's great. So something like along the lines of that, like whether it's on the shoulder or sleeve or back or whatever, like it's just really nice. Last of Us in some vein, maybe
Yeah.
it's a Firefly symbol,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
something from that universe.
Yep.
As well, maybe something from Dishonored. I kind of like the idea of the outsider
Yeah.
on my
Yeah.
hand as well, because
That
like
would- yeah,
I love
that's
that. I love the
definitely
universe of Dishonored so much.
Yeah.
Like there's just like Portal would be really cool. Like there's
I used to think I'd love to get like a portal tattoo where my arm was like GLaDOS and have like the bend as the bend in
That's
her
really
body.
cool.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that would be anything for portal. Or just even something simple like the cake is a lie. You know, just something that people that the right
See,
people would get, but everyone
Now-
else wouldn't. You
Now,
know?
now that you're saying that, I'm thinking like was it BioShock Infinite the tattoo
Oh,
that
yeah.
he's got on his
Yep.
hand?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I've been
Wouldn't you
meaning to
just
replay
honestly,
that.
if you're gonna get Bioshock though, wouldn't you just get the words somewhere?
Yeah.
Would you kindly?
Yeah.
Like that's
Yeah.
and maybe a golf club. You know, like something like that. That would be.
Yep.
Yeah.
The reason that came up was because Beck is actually in a week and a half, but my other half, Beck, is getting tattoos. She's getting 3 symbols on the back of one arm and 3 symbols on the other.
Wow.
So the symbols being on one, I hope I get this right, is a red shell, a ghost, and a Goomba.
Nice.
And on the other one is a star, a mushroom, and
Fireflower.
blue shell,
another
or,
buff of some description.
yeah.
The fireflower.
bullets.
Fireflower. Yeah.
Yes, Fireflower.
Yeah.
Yes, Fireflower. Yes,
Or
you're
it
right.
could be the rock feather.
No, it is Fireflower.
yeah.
So she's getting those, which is really cool. So
That's
That's
Yeah.
that's
pretty
awesome.
good.
yeah.
Even something as simple as like a really cool Luigi art. That's the thing. It's like
Yep.
it's one of the
doesn't
thing
need to be
Yeah.
incredible.
Well, the thing is, it's like I can think of something as simple as like the outsider mark, but it's like you
Yep.
know, you look at fan art of so many things. There is some like ridiculous fan art for
Yeah.
these. They're just gorgeous, and that I would love to just have as well. Not necessarily like the normal just Luigi, just a really well done Luigi of a particular fan artist
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
really liked that really spoke to
Yeah.
me.
Like a Rabbids one too. That would work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm absolutely going to get the Hollow Knight on me somewhere.
Yeah?
100% something. All right, beers are done. We need to go and
Yep.
refill.
Yep.
So we'll be back for the Beercast Part 2 shortly.